What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have the two best weapons for boss killing in Borderlands 4. Now, if you were to look at my screen, you would see I have two legendary weapons and two epic weapons. You'd probably be guessing it's the legendary weapons, right? No, you're actually wrong. The two best weapons in this game are two purple weapons that are, one's a little harder to get, and the other one, it's not, I'm not going to say it's a common drop, but I've definitely gotten more of these than I have the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to showcase both of those, and I'm going to show you why they are so strong. And the reason for it, at least for the first one, is the alternate fire spread launcher. So, on a Jacob shotgun, you can get this alternate fire spread launcher. Fires a spread of grenades that deal 7,979 times 5 damage. Typically, you would think, okay, it's like a grenade launcher. Not a big deal. What you may not know is that if you pair it with a crit knife that has the penetrator augment on it, right here, damage to the impact the target are automatically crit hits for 5 seconds. You can take this spread launcher and make it do obscene amounts of damage. Combine it with an amp rep kit, where you get 200% damage increase on your next shot. And the damage gets kind of ludicrous. And for that, I'm going to show you. Because this other weapon we got up here, it dwarfs this one in comparison. So we're going to start here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to swap to the spread launcher. We're going to make sure our boss is ready. It is. We're going to hit our amp kit. Now you can see down at the bottom, we have the little grenade, the ordnance symbol, and then we have the amp shot. What that means is it is currently ready. We have 200% damage on our next bullet fired, and it is also indicated by the blue flare glow coming from the front of the gun. What we're going to do is we're just going to hop in here. We're going to wait for the boss to spawn. You're going to throw a crit knife at it because you have to do damage. It will mark it, and then you fire. Crit knife, fire. That's a lot of damage. When you really look at it, that is a ton of damage. Okay? I'm unsure exactly how much health this boss has, but one full health bar from one shot is absolutely ludicrous. However, I have something even more busted, and it's not even close. Wow, that cost me a lot to respawn. That's okay. Our secondary weapon, at least, well, here, we'll touch back on this for a second. This spread launcher is going to be great against a lot of mini bosses. There are certain weapons you are farming. This thing is going to get it done. Is going to get it done extremely, extremely well. I would probably call this number 3 for the best weapon. The next one is kind of on par with the kickballer. If you know anything about the kickballer, I'll throw something up on the screen, a little video. You can kind of see the damage that it does. Dang. I'm 1624 and 1633 on my health.
So mine's not as far back.
My game despises what I'm doing to it.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm like praying through that parachute.
Taking a risk. Thanks. Yep. For the longest time, I had one that was level 23. I got all the way up to level 38 before I stopped using it, and it still destroyed. It just... I was dying as much as the enemies were. So, this, I would arguably say, is better than the kickballer, and this is the number 1 weapon in the game with the amp kit and the penetrator augment knife. And it is a Malawan shotgun with the alternate fire energy disc. Now, you're probably thinking, hey, I've seen this a couple of times. I have this. You might not, because it needs to have the Jacob license accessory part. The reason for it is because there is a synergy, unsure whether it is intentional or not. I would assume it's probably not, because it is absolutely busted. Okay. The energy disc states, launches a bouncing energy disc that deals 2800 damage per bounce. Cool. The Jacob's license part says, critical hits ricochet projectiles to nearby enemies. You mix that with a penetrator argument that says, hey, damage to the impacted target are all crits for 5 seconds. You see where I'm going with this? If you know about the kickballer, you know about this. However, this is significantly more rare, and it also doesn't have any of the downsides. The kickballer, when it explodes, like you saw in the clip, goes everywhere. Because it goes everywhere, you are taking damage. For the longest time, the only reason I even survived was because I had an onion shield that says, on a 4-seg armor segment, when it breaks, I get immunity to damage for 2 seconds. That was the only thing that saved me most of the time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and showcase this energy disc Malawan shotgun. This thing is ludicrous. So just like before, amp shot, we have it. We're going to switch to our energy disc, and we're going to jump in. Once again, you wait for the boss to come up, you throw the knife, and then this one, you want to try and aim it at a spot near the ground, kind of like where it can wedge itself in. Knife. It took 2 shots. I won't lie. It's a little strange. I'm going to show you that one more time. One more time. This is insane. The setup is insane. It does require you to be a little bit lucky. I won't lie. I am the only person in my group of friends that has played Borderlands 4 that has gotten a crit knife. In fact, I've gotten 3. Most people, there's a couple different amp kits that have the 200%. Just be on the lookout for one if you are trying to do one-shots, okay? But this, this is not a common drop. So when you are getting your purples from legendary farming, whatever it is, look into it, but the kickballer also works. And I will show you where the kickballer is. But you can see we have our amp shot, we have our energy discs, we have a knife. Let's go ahead and showcase it one more time, just so you guys can see how ludicrous this thing actually is. So we sit, we wait, knife, disc, disc. You guys see what I'm talking about? This thing got all the way down to 1 HP, and I fired 2 shots. If we include it with our spread launcher, bosses pretty much don't stand a chance. Mind you, like I said, this is definitely something that can be used in replacement for the kickballer. The only real thing you need is the kickballer or a Malawan shotgun with the energy disc with the Jacob license part. If you have that mixed with the penetrator augment, crit knife, basically, you can do this too. I can take off literally all of my gear. I can go down to having no skills. It doesn't matter. It will annihilate. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, keep a lookout for these 2 shotguns. At least in my opinion, they may just be the unforeseen legendaries in Borderlands 4. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.